So the other day we were talking about old parents and how they used to like wake us up and how we got treated by them, like pots and pans, the water bucket, flipping a mattress while we're still on it. All borderline child abuse, I think. Okay, so flipping the mattress was definitely child abuse because I kept my bed against the wall. So when my old man flipped the mattress with me on it, he flipped me into the wall with it. So that was child abuse. And like, we were talking about it, and like, we can look back and we can laugh at these things. Because, for the most part, as long as they're harmless, we can take those lessons into our own parenting life. Like, my mom, whenever she found out I'd been drinking and I didn't want to wake up, she came in with the pots and pans. I woke up, holding my head, hung over, going, oh my god, nails on a chalkboard sound better than this right now. But as for parenting, they were like, wake up, football practice, runnings, drills, and like, looking back on it, you gotta realize your parents wanted what was best for you. They might not have the best way of putting it sometimes. They may not have gotten the best outcome from some of their methods. But for the most part, your job as a parent is to be better for your children. Your job as a parent is to take care of them, nurture them, and teach them. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, especially the ones who hit their children. It's like, why are you hitting them? Because they don't know how to regulate their emotions? Like, sometimes you need to stray your hand and use your words instead. Sometimes you need to put your hands on their shoulder. Firm grip, not bruising, but firm. And let them know that you're very, very serious at the moment. They have to understand what you're telling them. And they can't do that if you're just hitting them and beating them and yelling. You need to be rational with them. And I think that's something that the previous generation lost, is because they didn't know what they were doing. Because all they had was abuse and discipline in the form of a belt or the back of a hand. And the problem with that is that sometimes you don't understand why you're being hit. Like, you did something, obviously, but you don't understand the why. You don't understand what you did wrong. And so you take that with you into your adult life. And that's a tragedy. Like, if we're being honest, that is a tragedy. Because of the fact that when it comes to raising your children, you have to be like, what do I do? What am I doing wrong? What are they doing wrong? Because you don't have any kind of idea that you're supposed to just sit down and talk with them and explain to them why they're in the wrong. My old man, may he burn in hell. I mean, may his soul rest in hell. Yeah, let's go with that. He let me do a lot of things. However, his favorite expression was, you are free to make your own decisions. However, you are not free of the consequences of your actions. And that's something I take with me into my everyday life. And more so now that my daughter's been born. Like, 10 years ago, I was doing third shift. And I didn't care. I would get into a fight with every customer, because most of them were drunk assholes. It's what happens when you work third shift in any kind of food industry. You deal with the drunks, You get into a fight every weekend, and you go onto a first name basis with the police. Then I got older. Then I got wiser. Then I learned to hone those emotions. I learned to step back and say, no, I can't go to jail. I need to be rational, I need to be calm, and I need to think about the other people in my life. And that's something that I think we need to start instilling more. Like, be less quick to raise your hand to a child and be quicker to sit them down and make them realize that there are consequences to their actions. However, those consequences have to match what their actions were. Like, if they hit their sibling with because they didn't want to share their toy. You have to teach them to share. You have to teach them, that yes, it is your toy. However, you weren't playing with it at the time. They could have been playing with it. It's not really something you should hit them over. And at the same time, you can be rational with them. And be like, okay, I think we're done playing now. And you can take that away. You shouldn't be like, well, no, those are for you. That's your punishment. What does that have to do with what their action was? It doesn't make sense to them. They don't understand why they're losing dessert over a toy. Lose a toy and they understand that their action has a consequence. That's why I always found it funny when it's like, oh, well, this rapist is going to jail. Oh, well, he's going to be someone's bitch. And so suddenly, the rapist is now the one getting raped in jail. Or child molesters are not allowed in Gen Pop because they know they'll get killed. I feel every child molester should be in Gen Pop. And just let the prison system sort it out. When they find their body, stabbed 36 times. But back to the main point. Every generation has the opportunity to be better for their children. And I think we all need to take that opportunity and do it for them. Because they're the future. They're the ones who will be making decisions eventually. Because eventually all the old people in Congress are gonna die. And we're gonna need a new generation to lead us into a new future. To lead us into a better tomorrow. And the best way to do that is by starting today with teaching them. So, be kind, have patience, be quicker to rationalize with them, then be quick to discipline them, be quicker to rationalize with them, and let them learn and develop. Remember, patience, kind words, and reason go a lot further than violence and irrational thought. But what do I know? I'm just someone who was raised off of abuse, discipline, and a few too many bottles of whiskey.